Okay, so once again, good afternoon, everyone. So this time, our topic is about legal system, common law versus civil law. No? So legal system define how laws are created, interpreted, and applied within a society. For business professionals operating in an increasingly globalized economy, understanding different legal system is critical. Companies today transact across borders, negotiate with foreign partners, and comply with multiple jurisdictions. So, without a basic understanding of how legal systems differ, business leaders may face serious legal and financial risk. Two dominant legal traditions shape most modern legal system, the common law and civil law. No? And this system influence everything from contract interpretation to dispute resolution. While both aim to promote justice and order, they differ significantly in structure, sources of authority, and the role of judges. No? And these differences directly show how or directly affect how business disputes are resolved and how predictable legal outcomes may be. Through comparing common law and civil law system, you gain a strategic lens for international business decision making, and this comparison allows future managers to anticipate legal expectation, assess enforcement risk, and design contracts that are sensitive to the legal culture of the country in which they operate. At this point, I now give the floor to our presenter to discuss the common law and civil law legal system. As you listen, consider how these systems influence business contracts, litigation, and regulatory compliance in different countries. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Doc. I am here. I'm Joel Alcaraz. I'm going to discuss about legal systems, common law versus civil law. Okay, the topics that I'm going to discuss is about history of common law and civil law, common law systems defined, key features, business impacts, and then I will discuss also the civil law system, the definition, key features, business impacts, and then a case study for this, and the questions after my presentation. Okay, so with regards to the learning objectives for this presentation, we should be able to compare common law and civil law systems. Number 2, understand and incorporate each legal system affecting, sorry, affecting business practices. Number 3, makes us understand and identify for each legal system is being used in the Philippines and how it is being applied in local business laws. So I'm going to discuss about the history of the common law. So common law actually originated in medieval England after the 1066 Norman conquest, developing from royal courts, creating a uniform nationwide system by merging local customs and judicial decisions rather than relying solely on written statutes. Like many other legal systems, it did not originally consist of substantive rights but rather of procedural remedies. British colonization spreads the common law system to colonies, forming the basis for legal systems in the US, Canada, Australia, and India in the 18th century. Until the late 19th century, English common law continued to be developed primarily by judges rather than legislators. History of civil law. Civil law history begins in ancient Rome, evolving from ius civile, laws for Roman citizens, into the massive corpus juris civilus, codified under Emperor Justinian in the 6th century. which was later rediscovered in Italy, forming the bedrock of European legal education. This Roman foundation was expanded by Germanic canon and feudal laws, culminating in modern, comprehensive codes like the 19th century Napoleonic Code, making it the world's most widespread legal system, relying on written rather than judicial precedents. Historical roots in the Roman Republic and Empire, we have the Ius Civile, early Roman laws for citizens, Jus Centium, law of nations, developed for interactions with non-Romans as the empire expanded. Corpus Juris Civilis, 529 to 534 of the Common Era, Emperor Justinian's massive compilation of Romance law, Code Digest Institutes and Novels, preserving legal principles for centuries. Justinian's Code resurfaced in Italy around 1000 Common Era, becoming a central to legal study in European universities. The 1804 French Napoleonic Code and Germany's 1900 or the BGB, Burgerlich Gesetzbuch, became influential models for modern civil codes. Now we go to definitions of common law systems. Common law system is based on judicial decisions and precedents. In common law, court rulings and interpretation by judges become part of the legal framework. Future cases are decided based on the past decisions, which is known as the doctrine of stare decisis, to stand by things decided. In a common law system, judges play a central role in shaping the law. Unlike in civil law systems where judges mainly apply codified statutes, judges in common law countries have the authority to interpret, develop, and even create legal principles through their decisions. Major strengths of common law system is its flexibility. A new cases and social conditions arises, judges can adjust legal interpretations to reflect modern realities. This allows the law to evolve gradually without the need of immediate legislative actions. Common law systems also presents challenges. Since much of the law is based on interpreting previous decisions, it can sometimes be complex and unpredictable, especially when conflicting precedents exist. Additionally, business may need to invest considerable time and resources in researching prior cases to understand potential legal risk. Lawyers in common law jurisdictions often spend significant effort analyzing case histories to anticipate how courts might rule in the future disputes. So just like right now in the Philippine setting, actually all cases were defined and actually interpreted coming from different cases in the past. So just like what Dean have mentioned the last time in the first subject in the first topic, it has a reference coming from the past so that it will be presented for the next case, which from the case that it will be judged. Now we go to the key features of common law systems. Number one, it is heavily reliant on case laws and judicial rulings. It builds much of the legal authority on the outcome of previous court decisions, which precedents form the basis for resolving future cases with similar facts. Judges have central role in shaping the law in common law jurisdictions. Judges are not simply interpreters of written laws as they actively develop and refine legal principles through their decisions. Legal principle evolves over time based on new cases. As society changes, new type of disputes emerge that may not have been addressed in early laws or precedents. Process of lawmaking in common law systems is continuous. Even well-established doctrines can be reinterpreted or modified when new cases present unique facts or challenge existing principles. Dependent on case law, the active role of judges and its capacity to evolve, which create a legal structure that is both stable and adaptable. So we go to the business facts of common law system. In corporate law, the framework for establishing and governing corporations, including provisions for shareholders' protection and corporate opportunity doctrines, for example, by allowing one-person corporations and electronic signatures which enhance ease of doing business, which I am doing right now with the daily busy schedules within the 5 work period of the week. I am actually doing this and applying the electronic signatures. And then another one in taxation, the statutes and the statutes and principles governing these sectors originates from common law systems, providing businesses with a degree of consistency and predictability in financial and regulatory matters. And then in commercial contracts, it is based on the civil code, which is the civil law tradition, the concept of consideration and certain principles of equity and trust found in the civil code show significant common law influence. Now we go to the civil law system. The civil law systems was derived from Spanish legal tradition, introduced more than 300 years of Spanish colonization. Unlike the common law system, which is based on judicial precedents, civil law system is based on written laws, codes, and statutes. It is a codified system where the legal rules are systematically arranged into comprehensive legal documents like the Civil Code, the Revised Penal Code, and the Revised Corporation Code. So meaning it has references going into the uh, how are you going to finish, or how are you going to conclude the case. So civil law systems emphasize on legislations, particularly in business, family, property, and obligations are governed by codified laws. Unlike in common law systems, where judicial decisions could substantially shape the interpretation of the law. In civil law systems in the Philippines, judges have less freedom to interpret the law creatively compared to judges in common law jurisdictions. Civil law systems in the Philippines promotes legal certainty and predictability because businesses and citizens can rely on codified rules to guide their actions. Companies operating in the Philippines must prioritize compliance with the statutes and government regulations, as written law is the most authoritative source. From the civil law origins, the Philippine legal system has incorporated elements of the common law systems as a result of the American influence during the early 20th century. This blending created a hybrid system where written statutes remain the highest authority, but judicial precedents or the jurisprudence, especially those from the Supreme Court rulings on labor cases, constitutional matters, and contract disputes, become legal standards that lower courts and businesses must follow. So we go now to key features of civil law system. In this system, laws are systematically written and organized into structure codes that comprehensively covers various areas of law such as contracts, property, family, business, and criminal law. Judges in civil law primarily interpret and apply written laws rather than creating legal precedents. Their main responsibility is to resolve disputes by strictly following the provisions of the applicable statutes. Another one is this system provides less flexibility compared to the common law systems since the written codes are the primary source of law. There is a limited room for judicial creativity or for adapting the law to new circumstances through court decisions. And then, despite its reduced flexibility, civil law systems' strict adherence to written statutes provide stability and predictability. And then, the civil law system is not completely rigid. In cases where the law is silent or vague, judges may refer to general principles of equity, prior decisions from higher courts, or persuasive jurisprudence to fill the gaps. Emphasis remains on the written law, and changes in legal interpretations are typically conservative. So meaning with the civil law systems, there are only references which are not flexible, just like with the references from the previous law with the unlike with the regards to the on the last topic that I have mentioned with also with regards to the common law. The business impacts in the civil law system. 1. In contract enforcement, obligations arising from contracts have the force of law between the contracting parties and are expected to be compiled with in good faith. Business rely heavily on these provisions to ensure agreements are honored. And then in the corporate governance, civil law covers general obligations and contracts. Specific commercial aspects like corporation laws, taxations, and labor relations are heavily influenced by common law principles and special laws. And then in the dispute resolution challenges, the main challenges identified by businesses in the Philippines is the difficulty and cost associated with setting legal conflicts through the judicial system. I have here a case study which I am going to have by next year. But I do have a case study coming from the references from the books. But with regards to my case study, by 2026 actually, I am handling a labor union case in our company citing another 5-year CBA program to be revised, which is inclusive for another 5-year plan starting from 2026 until 2030. So being on the management side right now, I would like to abolish the labor union since over 50 years existence in the company. It has gone a long way of a very harmonious relationship between the employee and the management, so that I don't want to go along through the DOLE anymore and just consult a legal expert to do this task. For me, in order to discuss this one to the union leaders and at the same time with the members, because there will be some impacts going into another 5 years with another CBA concerning with regards to the management and the employment and the employees. So with respect to the civil law, their freedom to pursue union organization is still accepted under Philippine labor law. But I want to consider the possibility of managing a company which is a union-free after several decades of manufacturing existence. We are actually 70 years in the market right now, and I would like to have a good relationship, a very good relationship with the union leaders and union members with respect to the management of our company. That is the reason why I place this one as a case study. Maybe I can revisit and review what could be interpreted and at the same time implemented for this one so that I can implement this one for next year. So I'll go to the questions for the class. I do have 5 questions to everyone. Number 1, in your own company or businesses, do you have any experiences how you can incorporate the common law system or civil law systems? Number 2, In our present situation in our country, cite some examples where common law system or civil law system are being practiced. And then number 3, how do you see the hybrid law systems here in the Philippines being applied? Is it advantageous or conflicting? As because the Philippine setting right now has a common law and a civil law combined. So, how do you see the hybrid law system right now? And then number 4, in your own words, how do you understand civil law systems from common law systems? And then number 5, as an MBA students, which do you think is more applicable in our country to use? Is it common law system or civil law system? Or I can add, is it okay if we can still continue to have the hybrid law systems? Thank you very much. This is the end of my report. Thank you, Dean.
Okay, so as a question floated, in in many businesses actually, I have my own business also. No, the civil law system is not is incorporated, no, through written contracts such as lease agreements, no, supplier contracts, employment contracts, and loan agreements, all of which rely heavily on provision of the civil code. And these documents define rights, no, obligation, penalties, and remedies clearly. At the same time, common law influence is seen when we rely on jurisprudence or past court rulings, especially when contracts are silent or dispute arises, such as applying doctrines on good faith, damages, or piercing the corporate bail. In practice kasi, businesses operate using both system simultaneously. That was the answer on the, do you have any experience on your, no? So in our present situation in our country, cite some example where the common law systems or civil law systems are being practiced. In the Philippines today, no, civil law is practiced when courts apply codified law such as the civil code in contract disputes. So the labor code in employment cases and revised corporation code is a corporate governance issues. Meanwhile, common law principles are practiced when courts rely on Supreme Court decision as precedents, no? Such as doctrines on bad faith, employer-employee relationship, or corporate liability. So for example, labor cases often depend not only on the labor law but also on established jurisprudence interpreting its provision. So another question, how do you see the hybrid law system here in the Philippines being applied? Is it advantageous or conflicting? The Philippine hybrid legal system, no, is generally advantageous rather than conflicting because civil law provides structures, predictability, and stability through codified statutes, while common law allows flexibility through judicial interpretation and adaptation to new situation. And this hybrid approach enable judicial interpretation and adaptation to modern business practices and ensure fairness. While it may sometimes create confusion for lawyers, joke lang, non-lawyers, non-lawyers, for business, it offers both certainty and adaptability, which are essential in a fast-changing economic environment. In your own words, how do you understand the civil law system compared to the common law system? I'm done already with my civil law actually and common law in my Juris Doctor. No? The civil law is system is law that is written, codified, and systematically organized when judges apply statutes as the primary source of legal authority. The common law systems, on the other hand, develops through court decisions where past rulings guide future cases. In simple terms, civil law tell us what the rules are, which common law shows us how those rules are applied in real situation. In business, both are important. Laws provide the framework, and court decisions show how risks are actually assessed. As MBA student, which do you think is more applicable in our country to use, common law system or civil law system? Of course, in the Philippine context, the civil law system is more directly applicable because business operations rely on written laws governing contracts, corporation, labor, taxation, and commerce. However, understanding the common law system is equally important since jurisprudence strongly influences how these laws are interpreted and enforced in reality. Effective business leaders must understand both because compliance comes from statutes, while risk management comes from knowing how court have ruled in similar cases. No? So, I just want to give a case, no, an actual case related to legal system, common law versus civil law. FULE, no, or FULE versus Court of Appeals, no, GR number L40502. The legal system focus on civil law, the caudal provision plus common law, custom and jurisprudence. No? So what will be the facts? Okay? So the dispute arose from a business transaction where the parties disagreed on certain obligation. So the civil code provision applicable were silent on the specific commercial practice involved. One party invoked established trade customs to justify its proposition. So what will be the issue? In the absence of a specific caudal provision, may courts apply customs in usage in resolving business dispute? So yes, the Supreme Court of the Philippines ruled that custom in usage may be applied as supplementary sources of law. So provided they are not contrary to law, morals, or public policy. So this case shows that while the Philippines is primarily a civil law country, courts adopt a common law approach by recognizing commercial customs through jurisprudence. So I mean to say, business practices and industry norms matter. Even if not written in the contract, consistent trade usage can influence legal outcomes. Now, another case, Air France versus Carrascoso, no, GR number L21438. Legal system focused on civil law, obligation and contracts, plus common law, damages, equity, and jurisprudence. Facts. Carrascoso held a confirmed first-class ticket but was downgraded by Air France without valid justification. So the airline argued it acted within its contractual rights. No? Nakasulat kasi yan, di ba, sa ng mga airlines, no? So issue, can a party be held liable for damages even if it's claimed to act under a contract? Ruling, yes. The court ruled that bad faith in the exercise of contractual rights gives rise to moral and exemplary damage. So the civil provides the rule on contracts, but the doctrine of bad faith and award of moral damages was shaped heavily through jurisprudence, a common law characteristic. So ating takeaway, legal right must be exercised in good faith. Technical compliance with a contract does not excuse abusive or unethical conduct. Last cases, Lim versus Court of Appeals, GR number 85781. Legal system focus, civil law, related to corporate personality, plus common law, piercing the corporate veil doctrine. What will be the facts? The owners of the corporation use the company to avoid personal liability for obligations, claiming protection under the doctrine of separate juridical personality. So what will be the issue? May courts disregard corporate personality despite statutory recognition? Yes, the court pierced the corporate veil after finding that the corporation was used to defeat public convenience and commit wrongdoing. So, the revised corporation code or the civil law source recognize corporate personality, but the piercing doctrine is jurisprudential in origin, a strong common law influence. So, takeaway, incorporation protects honest entrepreneurs, not abuse or abusive ones. Courts will look beyond legal form to economic reality. So, these cases, the three cases, now show that while the Philippines is rooted in civil law, our legal system is not rigid. No? Jurisprudence fill gaps, tempers harsh rules, and adapts the law to business realities. For managers and entrepreneurs, this means one thing. Knowing the law is not just about reading the code. It's about understanding how courts actually decide the cases. I think that's it for topic